Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chaos Terminal. My name is Michael, and today on the channel I have 3 vehicle inspirations for you. So first up, we have this golden paper plane flyer. I was inspired by Kaboom's Bright Bombers Bomber, where he utilized the Fortnite Festival wall pieces as wings, and I grabbed these yellow wall pieces and decided like, yeah, let me give it a try too. So it works pretty well. I wouldn't say it's the best. It definitely is more for fun than it is for practical usage. Um, Let me get out of the way of the trees here. The thrusters on the bottom lift you up into the air, and then there are some turning thrusters as well. There are ways to do some tricks with it, but really it's just like a fun, simple plane. I really don't know if it warrants a build video. You can kind of see most of how it's made right there when I flip it upside down. Essentially, you want to make this on a car jack, perfectly vertical. You want to place those wall pieces down and then build your vehicle bases up next to it in a vertical line, snapping on your seat facing down. And then when you break it off the car jack, it should fall nice and flat like this. But yeah, you build this one sideways. So next up, we have what I'm calling the Dragonfly. I don't know. This is definitely based a little bit on like the Star Wars, the Bounty Hunter's gunship from Clone Wars. Also, obviously, on the shape of a dragonfly. Again, this one doesn't necessarily make the cut for a how-to. This was more to give some inspiration. You can see it turns just a little bit when you're trying to make it drive a straight line. And that's just a natural consequence of those free swivel plates and the balloons. The game is always going to want to make your things sit at whatever level is most comfortable for them given each random variance and circumstance. So you kind of get what you get, but it still makes for a really cool design. Now this one I didn't make with free parts, obviously there's some paid parts in here, but you could recreate it. I would just recommend using granite. Obviously for the plating because it's a lot stronger. Also make sure that you don't accidentally fly into the storm while you're recording like I did, because you'll have to just turn around and fly right back out. And then the last thing I want to show you is how the Dragonfly lands. So you obviously saw how it takes off. Oop, landed it too early. You got to land it without the thrusters on or it kind of goes wonky like this. But it'll slowly land. Here, we try again. It'll slowly land in this position here, which I imagine if we rebuilt this in a much larger scale, that it would actually be pretty cool. But that's pretty much it. I'll give you one last look at it, and we'll move on to our third and final build for today's video. All right, and I saved the best for last. We should call this one the Chaos Cruiser. This one I actually am doing a how-to for. I've tested it 4 or 5 times now. It works every single time. Very easy to replicate. And the coolest part is that center ship in the middle of the ring, you can design however you like. Every single time I've made the ship part look differently and it flies the same every single time. It's fast. It turns on a dime. Honestly, it's pretty cool. Also, the sandstone is exceptionally strong. You can crash this into things. I've dropped it from great heights. It flies backwards, as you see in there. All around, it's a really cool design. I'm very proud of this one. All right. Well, now that we've seen this last video, I will show you a little bit more of its flight footage, and I want to talk about our plans for May. So it is May the 1st. As of uploading this video, you might be seeing it later, but that's just how YouTube works. Our schedule for this month, for Legofortnite at the very least, you can expect video uploads on Thursdays, and we'll be doing live streams every weekend, and potentially more live streams than that, but I just want you to know that at the very least we will be live Fridays and Saturdays, Sundays too, potentially. But for sure, Fridays and Saturdays with video uploads on Thursdays. All right, that brings us to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. And make sure that you stick around because we will be putting out the how to build on this Chaos Cruiser coming soon. All right, thank you, and you have a good one. Bye.